Good Monday Matters. I hope you had a great Sabbath and are looking forward to a new week, enjoying all the things that God has in store for you. My name is Mike Courtney, and this is Monday Matters. Every Monday I take a few minutes and talk about something to make your life happier, healthier, and perhaps a little bit holier. I want to begin by saying I'm trying a new kind of setup, a new camera, a new microphone. We'll see how it works. Let me know what you think about this, if it's better, worse, about the same, if you even notice. Let me know after all this is over. I'm going to begin by telling a story, and then what I want to talk about is how to stay positive in relationships. I want to talk about how to stay positive. Relationships, like gravity, tend to always be moving downward, and it takes work to stay positive. So here's the story. Doris and I were married for almost 25 years. We went through a great struggle, my own doing, my own sin, my own stupidity, my own family of origin issues, all of those things. But we went through a time of great struggle, and there was a period of time that we went through where I saw everything negative about her. And in fact, and I know those of you who know her are saying, well, what could you see? Because there's not anything negative about it. Well, that's pretty much true, but I was making up stuff. I could not see the positive. I could not see it. And the thing that used to endear me to her now was an irritant. The thing that I used to find as cute now was just a pain in the neck. You've been through those kinds of things, perhaps. Those moments where whatever the relationship with a boss, with a teacher, with a student, with a spouse, with a friend, it just goes south. It just gets negative, and we don't want that to be the case, but we don't know how to get out of it. We don't know how to change that. It changed. God changed it. God did a great work. And I say to people all the time, I finally found the woman of my dreams. And to my surprise, I've been married to her for 25 years. But what happened? What happens in my thinking that makes that change possible? These 5 things I want to remind you of when it comes to a relationship. And, just these 5 things. The first one is this. Affection is a choice. Affection is a choice. I choose what I like and what I don't like. There is a statement that says the heart wants what it wants, but I would say the heart wants what the head tells it wants. There's a choice to that. I don't like Pepsi or Coke. Now, for those of you in the South, I know that's a horrible thing. I don't like Pepsi or Coke, or for that matter, RC or Dr. Pepper or iced tea, anything dark. I have started drinking coffee. I've given in to that vice. But anything dark, all I drink is water. I don't like anything. I always say if I can't see the bottom of the glass, I don't want to drink it. A long time ago, when I was a little child, drank some Coke, didn't like it. And I have chosen not to like that. Now, I'm pretty sure if I changed my mind and said, okay, I'm going to like it, I could acquire a taste for it, and at this point it's not worth it. My point is, affection is a choice. I choose what I like and what I don't like. I don't like orange Jell-O. I don't know why. To be perfectly honest, orange Jell-O and strawberry Jell-O are probably pretty similar, but I don't like orange Jell-O. Affection is a choice, and when we find ourselves losing affection with a boss, with a student, with a spouse, it's very often because we have chosen to do so. Here's the second thing. I see what I'm looking for. I see what I'm looking for. If I want to see the very best in somebody, I will. And if I want to see the worst in them, I will. Doris is terrified of cicadas. She's terrified of them. This is a hard season. She's going to pray for Doris. Not only does she have to put up with me, but she's terrified of cicadas. Excuse me. When we go out, she can see cicadas. I mean, she sees them all over the place. I don't see them. We walk past a tree. She can see everything. we see what we're looking for, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. When we are attuned to that, when we are attentive to that, that's what we're going to see. And so when I begin to see all of the negative in that person that I'm dealing with, it's very often because I'm looking for it. That's what I have set my sights on. Here's number 3. Recency bias causes clouds. That's the word. Recency bias clouds our judgment. We tend to think that the last encounter, the last few things, the last little time together, that is how it has always been. There's an interesting study that was done for people who had colonoscopies, and apparently they had some kind of brain monitor. They could monitor the pain and tell when this person was in great pain, and so when the colonoscopy was over, and they woke the person up, they would ask them, okay, was this as bad as you thought? For the people that they monitored the pain to be towards the end of the procedure, no pun intended, towards the stoppage of the procedure, they said, oh, it was awful. It was all the recency bias. The last thing that they knew, even though they were not conscious, the last thing they knew was pain, and so that biased the entire perspective. This was awful. For those people that the discomfort was early on in the procedure and then it wasn't as bad as the procedure, they tend to say, no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Recency bias, when I am going through a difficult time with that relationship, again, whether it's a boss or a friend or whatever, then I tend to think it's always been that way. But that's not true. Here's number 4. Affirmation creates appreciation. When I affirm, when I go out of my way to point out the positive, to say this is a good thing about somebody, when I am intentional about doing that, I appreciate them more. I began, as I chose to be affectionate for my wife, I began to express that appreciation often for her, and to say it often, and to remind, not just to remind her, to remind myself of that. And so as I began to express my gratitude for my boss or for my student or for my kids, when I say my kids are horrible, they don't pay attention to me, they're when I say that, it's true. When I say, man, I got great kids, man, God's blessed me with them, that's true. And so affirmation creates appreciation, which kind of leads me to the last point. It's very similar to that. Language is both descriptive and prescriptive. When I talk about what a relationship is like, I can be describing it, but I also can be prescribing. When I say, man, that guy is just hard to get along with. I've never liked that guy. That guy, he just rubs me the wrong way. You know what? I'm prescribing that this is the way that relationship is going to be. But when I can say things like, man, I appreciate that person. He has a different perspective, and I like that. I'm learning from him. It's a value for me to be challenged by someone like that. When I say that, I am prescribing. So, if you're in a relationship that is not what it once was, a relationship that's turning the wrong way, remember these 5 things. Affirmation is a choice. Affection is a choice. I see what I'm looking for. Recency bias clouds our judgment. Affirmation creates appreciation. And finally, language can be both descriptive and prescriptive. Luke 6:45, the last part of that verse says, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I would say that just the reverse is true as well. As I speak, I inform my heart of what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. So if you're in a relationship and it's not exactly what you thought it once was or what you hope for it to be, before you look too closely at the other person, look at yourself and say, what can I do? How can I talk differently or act differently to restore the joy to this relationship? Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for listening. Let me know how this camera microphone deal works. Hope you have a blessed day. I will post something each day on Instagram and Facebook that has to do with this kind of topic. And just be blessed in all that you do.